Hi everybody, I want to thank you for watching my recent video about, the animal abuse I experienced and witnessed growing up. I really appreciate all the comments that I get. This video, I think I'm going to talk about, like how things regarding my identity have changed since I became a mom. And, obviously, I'm not really keeping up with myself how I used to, and this is a big fear of mine, like losing myself, and then my identity is just I'm a mom, especially now there's a second child in the way. So I definitely do want to do like like a mommy makeover vlog, but it's like it has nothing to do with like the physical changes. It's more about like doing my hair, getting back into doing my makeup every day, like buying makeup. There is going to be a video in the next like week or 2 weeks whenever the package gets here. Unfortunately, due to the circumstances that I went through, I had to get rid of, I want to say like 90 to 95% of my wardrobe. What was that? That was like early October that I finally got to look into the laundry, because when I had to leave with my daughter that day, the incident that took place happened directly after I had put a big load of laundry in the washer. By the time everything happened, I had completely forgot about the laundry, of course. Then I was in the shelter for a month. So it's like wet clothes was sitting there for I don't know how long. And then I guess my dad had just put them in the basket. I don't know if he put them in that basket wet or he dried them and put them in the basket, but regardless, I moved in here like September 18th, and the clothes were put in the washer in late July. So when I got into the clothes, it was a lot of my daughter's like baby blankets, baby clothes, my underwear, socks. There was a lot of mold. And, I didn't have a washer and dryer yet. I tried to wash them by hand, and they were just not going to dry. So, I took the executive unfortunate decision to just get rid of them. Some of the clothes was like triggering for me to look at. The dress I wore to my mom's funeral, stuff like that. So, I just figured, okay, it'll be better to just start over. I'm a new person. I need a new wardrobe. I've been needing a new wardrobe. So let's just bite the bullet. And so finally I got around to getting on Shein. I was gonna shop on Fashion Nova, but I still will probably, but I've never ordered from Fashion Nova. I just felt more comfortable in the end with Shein because I've ordered from them before. This sweater I'm wearing came from Shein years ago. So very worn out, but still wearable. So I'm definitely going to do a haul, and it probably is going to be a try-on haul. And I'm not done shopping yet. Like it's winter, so I definitely want to get some like new boots. Gonna get my daughter some cute little snow outfits because she's about like in the 18 to 24 month size range right now. Yeah, so I'm excited for that. Look forward to that video. And yeah, like other parts of my identity, maybe I'll see how I feel about it, but like vlogging, like out in public, like doing shopping vlogs, because there's what is it, a mall about 10 minutes down the road that I've gone to, really enjoy it. Oh my gosh, it's called, first of all, Crossroads is in there. And that was the church that I was going to at the shelter. So that was just like God, period. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I moved and you made sure a church was in the mall? I ain't got no excuse not to go to church, okay? And then it's a good mall. Like, this is a mall that's still, there's a few stores that's empty, but it's nothing like most malls these days. Like, it's very poppin'. There's even like, I think it's called Treasure Island, and let me tell you, I never thought I would collect Barbie, okay? I'm an MGA girl. I like Bratz. Grew up playing with them, so I love Bratz. And recently what convinced me finally to start collecting dolls was when I found out about Rainbow High. So, and I love the LOL OMG dolls. Those are the dolls that I collect. I started with Rainbow High, then LOL OMG, and then when the Bratz started popping off again, started collecting those. And then when I went to the mall, there's this store called Treasure Island. I think Treasure Isle or something. And so, I went in there and just in the display, like in the window, I saw like horses. It's like definitely a collector store, like horse figurines and like posters and things like that. So I went in there. Oh my gosh. There was 2 big sections dedicated to dolls, and they had all types. But specifically like collector type dolls, like a lot, mostly Barbies. Then they had some porcelain dolls. Very exciting. And I saw 2 Barbies I was shocked by, because we're talking about like, I want to say these are 2005 and prior Barbies. What collection? Princesses of the World. I got 2 dolls from Princesses of the World. But anyway, yeah, so this mall has a lot, and there's also like an Ulta very close by. It's like the mall, and then they have like the flagship stores, and there's an Ulta Beauty that I had gone in one day and got some body wash. But I haven't bought makeup in a long time. There was reasons why I stopped doing my makeup and stopped doing my hair. This was years ago that it started to decline. Of course, you can imagine it kind of had to do with some harassment by my father. So 18 is like when I graduated high school. So um used to do my make I used to get up for school. I started sneaking out the house with makeup on when I was in 7th grade, okay? Like I was not allowed to wear makeup yet. My mom, she worked for Avon my entire life. So, makeup company. There was so much makeup in the house, nail polish, jewelry, everything bubble bath, body products. Like, that's how I grew up. So, that was a normal thing for me, but I knew I was not supposed to be wearing that makeup, but like, I was sneaking out with cream eyeshadows, okay? Cream eyeshadows in middle school. But yeah, eventually like one Christmas, I was like 14 or 15, my mom like in my stocking, she gifted me like some mascaras, some eyeliners, and it was like, yeah, you can wear makeup now. So y'all, I would get up early in the morning and do my makeup, and every day that was my routine. I loved it. Used to do my hair, straighten my hair every week. Yeah, faithfully. On my day might have been Sunday nights. Yeah, that makes sense for school. And yeah, I used to cut my hair consistently. Like I would cut it right here in a bob, and that was my look, okay? Middle part, straight hair in a shoulder length bob. That was my look. I loved that blunt cut, and yeah, I was obsessed. Like, I definitely want to start learning how to do my makeup differently because ever since middle school, I developed a certain makeup routine that it's really hard to get out of because it looks good on me. I just do my brows right, lip balm, lip gloss, no foundation, but do my skincare. And then I do like very heavy, like the darker the better. Very heavy eyeliner in the waterline, and I used to use it was like a dip brush, a dip angle brush for the eyeliner. Is that called gel liner? But yeah, the one in the pot is the one I used to use for my waterline. And then sometimes I would do the upper waterline. Then I would do liquid eyeliner, strictly liquid eyeliner, wing, various wings, and then I would do mascara, and that was it. And so, that's pretty basic. I would play around with eyeshadow, but eventually it just faded. It faded from like the full on, like I wake up in the morning and I'm browsing Pinterest for some makeup inspiration. Then it went to the basic everyday makeup. Then it went down to just natural face and skincare, which is perfectly fine. But now it's like, this isn't me. Like, and especially after becoming a mom and having a baby and stuff, like, you suddenly like have no time to do anything for yourself that you used to just do freely. I used to do my nails every week religiously, okay? No, I used to do my nails. Maybe it was every week, maybe it was every like 2 weeks. Pedicure every couple weeks. Used to wear a lot of jewelry. Like, I have a lot of piercings that obviously they're not in my face. I'm gonna take my nose piercings out when I have now a baby running around who grabs that stuff. But yeah, so I did, which is really exciting. In September, before I got pregnant again, I got my first tattoo. I'm not opposed to tattoos. I wasn't opposed to tattoos ever, but I was just more into the piercings. I don't know. I'm very into the piercings since I was 15. And then, when that kind of slowed down, that's when I had started stretching my ears, which obviously I quit before, they got stretched for real. It was taking a bit too long for me. I wasn't doing it right. I was like, you know what, let me just let them shrink and I'll try again sometime. And yeah, then what was the last piercing I got? I think it was my nose, my third nose piercing. And that was before I met my husband. So it's been a long time. And it just so happened, like, in September, my husband was finally back home, so we were staying with him, me and my daughter. So we left the shelter. I only had 30 days in there, and it was just in time. But in between there, at first the plan was to live downtown where we're from. So I decided to get an Airbnb for a week, just right there in the center of downtown, and try and see if I can, first of all, be closer to apartments that I'm looking at, and then see if I like downtown and if I could find something down there. I ended up letting my daughter stay with my husband for the majority of that trip, just so I could have, like, he could spend time with her, and then I could have, like, the freedom to, like, be downtown and do stuff. Loved it. It was so fun. There was a Kroger right down the street, and I just love when everything is in walking distance. So many people out. I remember being at the park. I had my Bible at the park. They was playing music right behind me. They was doing a whole full-fledged yoga class. Like, kids was getting out of school across the street. It was just so lively. And then, I don't know what it was. I was just like, you know what? It's time for me to find myself. Like, I was enjoying that freedom that I never had. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a tattoo, and I'm not even going to really think about it, okay? So I did, and I love it. It's where I get it, yeah. Yeah, if you can see. It's just a D with, like, there's a butterfly, which is me, and then the initial D in cursive, and then it connects to a little carnation flower, which our daughter was born in January, and her name starts with a D. So, I just got a little, just me, like, mommy and daughter type tattoo. And then on my birthday, I am going to talk about regrets with this one and talk more about this tattoo, but you can't really see it because it's in the pink ink. Um, yeah, I got that on my birthday, which that was a terrible experience. I will, oh my God. I'll talk about that later, but yeah. So I only have two so far. Obviously, they're going to be on hold for a while. But yeah, I could definitely see myself being moderately tattooed. I don't know if I would ever go heavy. Like, to me, I'm kind of an alt girly, so stuff doesn't really shock me, but to me, heavily tattooed would be like sleeves and such. I'm not really into sleeves. I don't think they're feminine. I don't, I just, I don't know. I couldn't see myself getting sleeves. A half sleeve, I'm gonna probably have to get to cover this one up. But, you know, at this moment in time, I'm not like, oh yeah, I should, a sleeve is not in my immediate future, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, my OJ gets cold. I mean warm. But yeah, the plan was to get a full leg though. I'm still into that. I'm still thinking about that. So, and I was never put off by the thought of a face tattoo, which is very weird. But you know, these are things where you have to really get to know yourself, because the things you like will really shock you. So I'm not against the hand tattoos. I definitely want some of those too. I'm not against face tattoos. Now, obviously, it's all stylistic to me. So like, I like this one. It's basically just a corset with like a bow, and then like these are black hearts, and then like the shading of the bow. I actually didn't like this cutesy light pastel style, which was shocking. I definitely like this like harsher, bold black. So that's something for me to remember in the future. You know, you may like to dress cutesy, but for permanent like things on your body, I'm more into like bold and feminine. So yeah, very happy with my first tattoo. Not happy with this one at all, but get that covered up or something. So yeah, and then as for like piercings, I'm probably done with those. I can't see myself getting another lip piercing just because of like, if I got another lip piercing, it would be up here. It would probably be like a Medusa or like whichever one this is, the Monroe over here. But I do have a mole up here that I don't want to get pierced through, so I might get it over here. I don't know. Everything down here, no. I had the Ashley piercing, gorgeous, stunning. My favorite piercing still to this day, but oh my gosh, that's a whole other story. Back when I was like 18 and I was first starting out on YouTube, unfortunately I don't have those videos anymore because my computer broke, but yeah, I did a whole video about that, a story time about, oh my gosh, that guy it fell out, and then he decided to re-pierce it, but also like stretch it at the same time. Oh my gosh, nightmarish. That wasn't even the worst piercing story though. The worst one was when I had my surface right here, bro. Yeah, I was bled out, but yeah, I'm probably done with the piercings. I could see myself getting a fourth nose piercing because I have two and then one. So I was planning on getting three when I got the last one done, but no, I got first when my family was in Vegas. It's when I got my first nose piercing. I was like 21. And then recently, the last time I got my nose pierced, the last time I got a piercing in general was when I got two more. I got two more. So I had told him in Vegas, I was like, I'm planning to get another one. So he lined it up for anticipation of that. So, yeah, I would probably get a fourth one. And then I have my septum pierced. And, you know, I don't know. I might, get, well, like an eyebrow piercing or something like that. But I'm not really thinking about all that right now. So what we talked about? We talked about clothes. My winter style is definitely like matching sets. Like, I love a matching sweatsuit and sweatpants set. And then I need to get more like vests because I hate wearing a coat. It just feels horrible and way too stuffy. I love wearing a vest because like I feel like, I can still move. I don't feel like a Michelin man. And all stuffy and immobilized. But yeah, cute vest, matching sweatpants and sweatshirt. And then just like some cute boots. Like combat boots and then like fuzzy boots. And that's basically my winter wardrobe. So that's definitely what I ordered. I ordered 5 or 6 matching sets from Shein. I'm super excited. I also got some sweatshirts because I think it's also cute to like wear a sweatshirt with like leggings and then like some cute thigh-high thick socks and then like some cute boots with it. So yeah, in the summer, I just like dresses, maxi and midi dresses in the summer. So I'm definitely excited to kind of like upgrade my wardrobe to something more womanly because most of my clothing is pastels, pink, very, what's it called, kawaii, like kawaii style. But I kind of want to shy away from like the motifs, like, and still have like a distinct colorful style because I love color, but I love all black. I love gray. So the only colors I really don't wear is red, green, and orange. Neons. I love neons. So I will wear neon green. Lime greens, neon greens, pastel, peachy tones, and then, but red, the only red that I used to wear was, I had a matching set, and it was red, and that was cute to wear. I feel like I would wear any color if it was in a matching set. I would not care about the color if it was a matching set. So yeah, I'm excited for those to get here. And, also, yeah, so hair, makeup, my hair, I'm very happy with the way my hair is growing lately. It is relaxed. Last time I did a retouch was July. I do it every 6 months, so like I'm due for one. But, other than that, once I relaxed my hair, ironically, I stopped straightening it because it was just, like my go-to hairstyle is a bun with a swoop. So it's like, what do I need? If I straighten my hair, then how am I going to gel my hair into my swoop and my bun? So the first time I got my hair straightened, I relaxed it. It was in November. I was pregnant with my daughter. So I was like 6 months. And the first time I straightened it was this September. I went to the salon because I was not about to do that myself. The hairstylist, she did awesome. And I chose to get curls for the first time because I never got curls before. It was so cute. I can't believe I didn't take a freaking picture. But, yeah, it was gorgeous. She gave me a trim. Stunning. Loved it. It's super pretty. But yeah, that's going to be happening in the next, 2 weeks probably. I'm going to do a retouch. And yeah, my goal length for my hair is waist, so I'm basically bra strap now. So I have quite a ways to go. Definitely want my braids to be down here. But yeah, the hair growth is sustaining with a relaxer, and Y'all, I've been natural my entire life the first time I relaxed my hair, I was like 23. So it's only been 3 years that I've gotten into the relaxers. I never had a problem growing my hair. Didn't have a problem with my curly hair. It was gorgeous. It's just like now I'm in that stage where I'm about length. I don't want to diet no more. I got all of that out of my system a couple years ago. I did every color, y'all. Every color you could think of. They were all stunning. My favorite was green, actually, ironically. Green, and there was a split dye I had done where it was like navy blue in the back and then it was like magenta on top. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I loved it, but it was like, my hair started falling out. Then I had to cut it for a third time because I relaxed my whole head like twice and then it was bleached already and all this other stuff. I was not being responsible. So, yeah, when my hair started falling out, and that was the third time I had to shave my freaking hair, I was like, I don't want to be bald no more. I'm over it. So I got that out of my system too, thankfully. And now I'm just all about length and just leaving it alone. But I do want to start styling it again. You know, and there came a point in my curly hair journey where I was, like I said, all I was doing was the swoop and the bun. So I got addicted to it, and all I was doing was just gelling my hair down, and you know how long that would take just with the curls, like just gelling it down in sections? So it's kind of like, okay, if I relax my hair, it's going to be so fast to do this little bun, and then I can use less hair gel. Yeah, I was buying the big red top Eco Styler gels. There's definitely a video on my channel where like I'm doing my hair and I bust that out because I was buying that consistently, and it was a lot. It was a lot of gel I was having to use. So, yeah. I just saw a YouTube short of a girl doing a cute little hairstyle. She had her hair slicked back, she put it in a ponytail, and she had 3 braids out her ponytail and put a bow in it. I'm definitely going to try that hairstyle because it was so cute. I love the pigtails recently, and I love the multi-braid pigtails. I was like, that's right up my alley. Yeah, then as for bigger identity changes, y'all, I have not been able to stop thinking about changing my name since that incident with, you know, my dad, where he was like, what's your name again, to my mom, like referring to me, and I overheard that comment. And then, you know, on top of the issues that my name brought, my dad named me after a cowboy. He named me after his favorite movie named Shane, about a cowboy, a gunslinger, whatever he was. Obviously, that's not a girl name at all. Like, I could understand if you had named me a unisex name, but no, he actually named me a male name. Like, this is the equivalent of naming your daughter John. You know what I mean? So, or Matthew or something like that. So, all growing up, everybody, if they didn't see me, they're thinking I'm a boy. And I remember him claiming somehow that I was going to, like, appreciate or like my name because of jobs. Like, seeing a boy's name on a job resume and then them assuming that I'm a male, and so I would get more callbacks. And then obviously they wouldn't be able to, like, back out because it would be discrimination. So you think you're contacting a white male, but then a black female shows up. I guess that was his logic as to why this was a good name choice. I'm not into it. Obviously, because of what he's done to me, I don't really appreciate him having named me anymore. It's what he's done is that egregious that I don't want any ties to him, first name or last name. And for a long time, for most of my life, I did go by my middle name. Whenever I signed up for something, even when I was younger, whenever I was like writing anything, I would put my middle name and my last name. And after I got married, I thought, okay, when I change my last name, my last name is not changed yet, y'all. So I'm like, when I change my last name, I could just all at the same time petition to change my full name. Cut out the first name, make my middle name my first name, and then I was brainstorming what middle name I would have, and my mom, born in the 70s, alright, she was gonna name me Sunny Scott. Which, when she told me that, like, I was cracking up. I was like, you're such a hippie, like, that's what? But now I'm like, y'all, Sunny, I would have rather had the name Sunny. Okay, that was a cute name. That was very flower child. So I was thinking, oh, I could, like, do a nod to my mom and make my middle name Sunny. But, I don't know. I'm not really into being referred to as my middle name either because my dad named me fully. So, and it's like, I'm used to that name too. Like, that's the name I use logging into my computer. It's the name on my DoorDash orders. It's the name on my Uber orders. It's the name on all my accounts online and stuff like that. Like, I refer to myself as my middle name and then my husband's last name. But, I don't know. I feel like I want to choose my own name, like, completely. And just have a whole new name. You know, so for the past few years, I've been, like, brainstorming names. And obviously, since I'm pregnant, I'm looking at names a lot. I should do a little video about, like, a pregnancy update and then, like, talking about the names that I'm thinking about. But I want a girl. So that's the first set of names that I was, like, going to. But then I was like, you know what? Like, these symptoms, y'all, it's not like it was with my first daughter. So then I was like, oh, what if it's a boy? Like, boy names are difficult for me. But I do have types of names, genres of names that I gravitate toward. How I determined my daughter's name was, I had agreed with my husband, like, okay, she can have your initials. So she has his initials, so that was like a guiding factor where it's like, okay, I need to look for a name that starts with a D and then a middle name that starts with his middle name letter. But then going deeper into it, you know, like, obviously I was looking at the name meanings. I think your future is in your name. And I do believe that much. Like, your name can determine the trajectory of your life. So, you know, your name could be the source of your bullying. You know what I mean? Or your name can make you famous. Or signal to people that you're famous. You know, think about all the crazy celebrity children's names. But yeah. I love my daughter's name. It was like she told me, like, Mama, that's my name. Okay? So, I love my daughter's name. I just got that sense with her name. And then, if I'm having a boy, I definitely want him to have two middle names. Like, I want him to have a really powerful, but soft. Because I feel like if I have a son, I just have this sense that he's going to be, like, empathetic, sensitive, intuitive, like a thinker type. I just feel that way. So I would want him to have a name that definitely reflects that. Definitely. I feel like he would be an introvert. I don't know. I just have a feeling about that. If I have another girl, I feel like she will be really like Delaney. I feel like she'll be like her. Like, very energetic, expressive, funny. So she needs like not a big, powerful name, but, and, of course, after what I went through with my name, I'm like, I'm not giving my daughters no confusing names. Like, you gonna see her name and you gonna know that she's a girl. Because why would you not give your daughter, like, I don't want to get into that. I don't know. But even, and then I'm focused on, okay, I want a name that people do not ask you to spell. But it's not common. I knew one Delaney in my life. Like, when I'm looking at these names, I'm like, have I known somebody with this name? How many people did I know with this name? So I knew one girl named Delaney in my life. So I'm like, okay, it's not a very common name, but it's a girl name for sure. Like, people can say that that's a boy's name, or obviously in Ireland, it's a surname. But, no, when have you ever heard a dude named Delaney in the United States? No. So, you know, it's obvious my daughter, that's her name, she's a girl. I want the same vibe with another daughter. And, yeah, but I'm looking for unique names, but people know how to spell them, but you don't hear them used often. I am not into the top 10 baby names. I don't like, y'all, I'm not into Emily's. I'm not into Amelia's. I hate these flowery girl names. I'm not into that. You have to be careful when you're naming a child. You really have to be careful. And I don't believe that people are careful enough these days. Like, don't name your child something where they're going to get bullied. You have to think about plays on words. You have to think about when they have to list their initials out or anything, that it doesn't spell something inappropriate. You have to think about this stuff. I don't know. It drives me crazy when people just name their kids anything and they don't think about the consequences. And obviously, because of what I went through, I'm strongly against certain naming practices. I don't think you should be naming your children after movies, movie characters, TV characters, Disney princess. You want your child to have their own identity, and that's in their name. You know, you shouldn't be naming your children after celebrities. That's somebody else's identity. You don't want to do that. This is another reason why I'm kind of like, I have a reason to not want my husband involved in this pregnancy, because if it is a boy, he wants a junior. Before we found out our daughter was our daughter, this was such a stress point, because it's like, I would give him cute boy names, and it's like, he keeps trying to groom me into naming a boy after him. Why would I do that? No offense, your whole life has been spent in jail. You've done nothing with your life. You've accomplished nothing. You have no money. So how do you have the nerve to want to name your son after you like you've done something, like you've accomplished anything, like you own anything? I'm sorry, but that's how I feel about every man who does that. Donald Trump didn't even do that, right? Isn't his son named Barron? He didn't even do that. If anybody wants to do something like that, I don't think it's a smart idea regardless. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care. You should not be naming your son after you. You shouldn't do that. There's a reason why it was done in history, and nobody, I tell you what, nobody in at least the American states meets the requirements to be naming their son after themselves. Nobody in this country meets those requirements. Trust me. That's for the kingdom only. They don't do that. The royal family don't do that. I don't even think they do that in Asia no more. I don't know. So, to me, the only men who have that right to be getting a junior is for a purpose, and it's usually for a royalty type purpose. And I'm sure that's more of like an African thing. I don't even know if those kings do that. But yeah, I think that's just, you're robbing your son of the ability to have his own identity. Like, of course my dad did that with my brother. But he had two sons being born 3 months apart by two different women, and he chose to name the son that he had with my mom, make him a junior. How disrespectful is that? You know, you have to think, oh, what if I have another son, right? What if I have another son? What if I have all sons? Then you've kind of pitted the sons against each other, because one seems like he's your favorite because he got your name. The others didn't. I was like, you need to be careful, and you need to use your brain. Yeah, I'm not into that. So that was never gonna happen. And honestly, if any man who says he wants his son to be a junior is a red flag to me. So that's another red flag. Because that's just, I don't know, that's narcissistic. Especially when you've accomplished nothing, or you're a horrible person, you're a horrible father. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. But yeah, I gotta write down a list of names that I like. I feel like I already have a daughter's name picked out, if it's a girl. I thought it would be cute if I reversed Delaney's initials. And then, like, so they have that kind of, their names are kind of similar. I don't like the matchy names either. Definitely didn't want to have another child whose name starts with a D, because I would probably get confused, honestly. So, yeah, and then thinking about, what would I name myself if I had to rename myself and think about where I want my life to go from here. So, all that is very exciting. about, you know, my identity is in a work in progress right now, so. But it's good. It's good. It's good to get to start over. It's always good to get the opportunity to start over, even if it kind of feels like a negative at first. You know, like the situation with the clothes. I was devastated, like, but it is what it is, you know. So, yeah, thank you for watching my video, and stay tuned for my next one. Good night.